Woo! That was the best 3 episodes episode premiere I've ever seen, he says with sarcasm. Anyway, now, yes, obviously this is the my episode review of episodes 1 through 3 of Legend of Korra, Season 3, Change. Man, they really want... First off, before we go any further, there will be spoilers to this episode, and I will be doing episode reviews of Korra. I've finally decided, yes, I'm going to do episode reviews of Korra, as well as Doctor Who. Still up in the air about Gravity Falls, because that show, I have to talk about every little tiny detail for that one. But Doctor Who and Legend of Korra for the are on the yes list. And also Space Dandy Season 2, which is coming up soon. Or is it still Season 1? Is it still under Season 1? Because I know the episodes were still being made as they were being premiered in the US. Oh man, I am really fucking this up. Yeah, hi everybody, welcome to the... Let's actually just jump into this. Before we actually go any further, I will be spoiling this, like I said, so there will be spoilers, so I do advise everyone, if you don't want to be spoiled, because as of this recording, the episode only premiered about, what, almost an hour ago? So, yeah. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to, if you don't want to be spoiled, to click the back button and not be spoiled. Or if you've already seen the episode and you don't want to be spoiled, then stick around. Okay, excuse me. Ooh, swallowed a bug. Anyway, so I'm guessing if you're still here, I'm guessing you want to be spoiled or have you already seen the episode. So let's get into this. Starting off with wow, you guys must be really entertained by this episode review. This is the best one yet. Oh god. Anyway, so this is the first episode, Breath of Fresh Air and Rebirth. And also the third episode, The Earth Queen, which is the first 3 episodes of a 13-episode long season, which, wow, they really want us to like this season of Korra if they're shoveling out 3 episodes at once to basically say, please like this season. Oh, man. And I gotta say, from what I saw from season, the first season, the third season, excuse me, again, my mind is totally mush right now, so, yeah. And what I've seen from these first 3 episodes, I didn't watch the leaked Spanish episodes because I didn't want to be spoiled, but I watched it. As I watched these first 3 episodes, I was like, huh, this is an improvement. Having said that, though, a show should not take till its 3rd season to get good. It shouldn't take a show that is built off of one of the greatest animated shows up there, in my opinion, with Gargoyles and Batman the Animated Series, to take 3 fucking seasons to get good. So, let's get into this. I did like these episodes, but there were some little things here and there that just made me go, ah, god damn it. Let's kick things off with, it opens up with Boomy finding out that he's an airbender, and everyone's still dealing in Republic City of the spirits coexisting with the world. And I like that this is taken place only 2 weeks after the events with Unalaq, or is he called Vatulaq, which I was like, man, that is, we're going with that, okay, we're going with that name. He's dead, so who gives a fuck. So, what happens is it's been 2 weeks, and I'm glad it's only 2 weeks, because I'd imagine this problem wouldn't go away after 6 months. So, obviously, the spirits are trying to coexist with the people of Republic City, and they ain't having it. And obviously, the media is only making this worse with Korra trying to keep balance between the 2 worlds, and still wondering if she did the right thing. I'm glad they're actually keeping Korra open to the, she obviously doesn't know if she made the right decision. I'm glad she's not like, oh, well, I definitely made the right decision, Spirits and humans need to coexist. Damn right, I'm the Avatar, that's why. I'm glad that they're actually saying, Korra's like, look, I think I just made the most major fuck-up in the history of Avatar fuck-ups. And I really think I should have thought this through. So, good on you, writers. You're not making Korra an outrageous cunt in this season, so far. And I don't use that word lightly, people. No, sir, I don't. Anyway. So I'm glad Korra's character has gotten a little bit better. Keyword, a little bit. And also, I kind of like her with an air staff. She's actually pretty good with an airbending staff. In what, only 2 weeks? And she already knows how to use a glider and shit? Okay. But I like that she has that. I think it's a cool little add-on to this, to her character. I like that. Tenzin and Jinora are also helping guide her, and I'm kind of interested because Jinora is very open to the idea, almost like, why would you want to destroy these vines? Because that's the big thing with the first episode of season 3, is that there are these vines that are constricting around the city. And Korra doesn't realize these things are spirits. It's an actual sentient being, and Korra doesn't seem to grasp that yet, but she's learning. And also, we also have the arrival of airbenders, which is completely crazy. Boomy is hilarious, and yeah, it's a really good opening episode to a season. And I really like the scene where there's this other airbender that is trying to get away from the elite guard because he's scared of himself. It's kind of like, it actually reminds me of all these new airbenders showing up in the world. It's kind of like in the events of Avengers vs. X-Men, where Hope and Scarlet Witch use the Phoenix to reboot the mutant race after what Wanda did in House of M. So it's kind of, I actually got that feel. I was like, huh, we've got airbenders, just like we got more mutants. Yay! So I really like also Tenzin, that Tenzin is really excited that now we have Avatar, or we have see how, I'm really tongue-tied, I'm really sorry, so I apologize for that. These are totally off-the-cuff reviews. I do apologize for that. But I really like Tenzin's interaction. I love that moment where he's talking to his children, where he's like, I only wish your grandfather was here to see all these airbenders. When there was only us, him and me, it was just, he would have just been so ecstatic to see this. And he is very gung-ho about rebuilding the airbending society. And so is Korra. She wants to be there to be part of it. And I really like that. Bolin's still annoying. I'm just going to bring this up real quick. Bolin is still outrageously god-awful annoying, but there is a little bit to his character that I hope, that kind of gives me hope that, okay, maybe you won't be so annoying as you were in the past 2 seasons, but I'm going to say that's a big if. Mako, who I still don't care about, is just basically like, well, there's an island with both my exes on the island, on this airbending island. I'm just going to stay and work all day. That's the logical thing, right? Whatever, Mako. Still don't care about you. And yeah, President Raiko's an outrageous asshole who, like in all media and in politics, they kind of just want stuff taken care of now, rather than realizing, hey, these spirits have feelings too. No, fuck them. We gotta look out for ourselves. And Korra is being very mature here. Thank you, writers. You're making Korra mature. Thank you. Now let's bring up something that I'm pretty sure some of my other fellow shipping friends are ecstatic about. In not just this episode, but the following 2, man, they have made, from just these 3 episodes alone, they have made the Korrasami ship into like a goddamn aircraft carrier. I'm serious. They've made that ship into an aircraft carrier, or at this point, a floating fortress. Like, I'm talking, it's almost like a helicarrier up in this bitch. Because there are moments in here where it's just Korra and Asami talking, and you kind of get the sense, wow, they are a little too close for friends. And there's a lot of interaction between Korra and Asami, and I'm pretty sure I had just heard when Korra said, I never had a girlfriend before to just talk to. I'm pretty sure I heard the high-pitched frequency that only dolphins can hear of the sound of screaming Korrasami fans. Me being a Korrasami fan myself, I was like, no! Man, they are making it too easy. So either they're like, the writers are like, you know what? Mako and Korra sucked, and all of our male characters suck. So how about we put our female character that we're trying to make good with our only working good female character and put them together? Hey, come on, you'd be. I'm just saying. So I'm just throwing that out right now. So that was really cool. I really liked the first episode. I really like how mature Korra is. I really do. I'm glad they're making her... They're still keeping true to her kind of bullheadedness, but at least she now understands, wait a second, these actions mean consequences. Oops. So that was the first episode of just basically President Raiko banishing Korra out of the city, and then Asami's like, hey, airship bitches, we gonna go find us some airbenders. Paraphrasing, of course. So that just leaves off to episode 2, Rebirth. Not Green Lantern Rebirth, Coolio. Anyway, so this is episodes pretty much about... Oh, one more thing I gotta bring up, because this happened in episode 1, and I really should bring it up, and I can't believe I didn't bring it up earlier, was the introduction of the villain Zahir. Zahir, apparently, is so dangerous. This guy's locked up like Magneto, minus the metal. And this guy, apparently, before he got his airbending, was not a bender at all. And he clearly is dangerous, even without the bending, because the White Lotus, the Order of the White Lotus had to, like, use like a metal bar to give him his food, and locked up in this little cell in the mountains. And then when he gets his airbending, boom! Also, Henry Rollins, you kill it as a villain. I'm just saying, this Henry Rollins rocks it as Zahir, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy is awesome. So please, don't screw him up like you did Amon. Oh my god, Zahir is awesome. Like, just from the little bit we see of him, like I said, he was dangerous as a non-bender, but now that he has airbending, wow, I can only imagine what he was like when he didn't have bending, to make him that dangerous. So that's pretty much, and he's also apparently he has a grudge against the Avatar, and he has a grudge against the the Order of the White Lotus. So I'm kind of curious more so to learn about his grudge against the Order of the White Lotus. Was he a member? Was he in another order? Is there like another society that fights the White Lotus or stuff like that? I'm really curious to see what that does. And once again, please don't spoil it in the comments below if you've seen the leaked episodes. But yeah, so there's that for episode 1. Really liked it. Now let's get into episode 2, Rebirth. This episode felt like a step back, didn't it? Because in here, Korra and the others are very, like I said, gung-ho about getting airbenders into the air, you know, basically make a new airbending society. The problem is that a lot of these people have lives already, and Tenzin, blinded by his own, you know, ambition, is kind of like, well, we need these people no matter what. And some of these people, and I kind of wish, apparently only Mako and Bolin saw this of, hey, these people have lives already, and I kind of wish that was brought up more frequently, that you can't just rip these people away from everything they have. These people have some of these people have families. They're not just going to drop everything to be this thing that they've suddenly become. You know, you're not Charles Xavier, Tenzin. Just because you have a bald head doesn't mean you can use fucking Cerebro to get these people to rally to you to make, the Aang School of Higher Learning or something like that. You can't just do that. So that's really... And Korra also gets to be bullheaded with one guy who I'm pretty sure was voiced by Napoleon Dynamite. I'm just, like... I know he has a name, but he's Napoleon Dynamite. I'm pretty sure he was just playing hipster. He was clearly airbender hipster. I was airbending before, it was cool. What? So we have that episode, and Korra's being bullheaded, and then she's like, oh, I gotta cool down because this isn't getting us nowhere. And then they get the idea to follow Bolin's advice to do a show. Wonderful. And that was embarrassing. So, in comes our next character. Our new recurring character, a young airbender named Kai, who apparently was a young thief on the streets rather than the news I got of the whole airbending breeding program, which was apparently all not true. Apparently that was all false data, so I do apologize for that. And what we get with Kai is that this guy's a little dick. He is a thief, and he's using his airbending skills for that purpose alone. It's not like, oh, he's charming like Aladdin. No, he's a little punk. Hopefully he'll get a good story arc and learn to be better. I looked at this guy after he did the whole stealing thing, and I'm like, wow, I don't like you. Maybe this arc will make me like you. Maybe not. Maybe not. So also we get more with Zahir getting his gang together. These guys are terrifying. Like, these are some, like, we have, I forget the other one's name, the Earthbender, who can apparently bend the Earth so fast that he can turn it into lava. That dude, like, I'm like, shit. And then we had Minghua, who was the armless waterbender voiced by Great Alile, who can use waterbending to form arms, and she's terrifying. Like, she kind of reminds me of a character from Skullgirls. I can't remember that character's name, but she reminds me someone from Skullgirls. Or is it Candy Girls? No, it's Skullgirls. Yeah, Skullgirls. But, yeah, that was, they're terrifying. And then we have Zuko. Holla! We have Zuko in here, basically saying, these guys are terrifying on their own. Together, they could destroy the entire world. We need to stop them. So what does Zuko do? Hop on his dragon and fly off to the northern air, to the North Pole to get Eska and Desna's help to stop them from getting the final person. So, and then that takes us right into the Earth Queen. So let's jump right into that. Okay, so episode 3, the Earth Queen. This was actually pretty good. This is more establishment into the universe. We see that the Earth Kingdom of Ba Sing say, "Wow, that has gone to shit." Oh man, the lower districts are suffering hard. I mean, like, there was a moment where I was like, "Are they going to go to District 9?" I'm just saying, like, you look at that and my mind went straight to District 9. I'm like, wow. Anyway, I was also expecting a little bit of Blade Runner, and there's also some Mad Max, which I'll bring up later. Anyway, so we get to the Earth Queen, who is the daughter of the Earth King, who is, okay, again, I don't use this word often, but I guess twice is the charm. The biggest cunt I have ever seen in the Earth Kingdom. The Earth Queen's a straight up bitch, because wow, like, she comes off like something you would see in a Japanese medieval soap opera. I only know that because I watched a couple episodes of a show Victor Holland, aka Ziploc Gory, had suggested to me once, and yeah, she reminds me of a character. I can't remember the show's name, but she reminds me of that character. I think it was the Swan Queen or something. I can't remember. Never mind. That'll just rack my brain for the rest of the night. Anyway, so the Earth Queen is clearly pissed off at Korra for what Avatar Aang and Fire Lord Zuko did for making the Republic City, even though it's its own sovereign nation, it's still on Earth Kingdom land, and the Earth Queen wants it back. She's also incredibly psychotic and enjoys nothing more than causing pain for her subjects. So we also have the Dai Li back, who are pretty much like the Earthbending Gestapo as they were the last time. And yeah, we have basically Korra asking the Earth Queen, "Hey, there are airbenders in Ba Sing Se. We need to go. My crew and I are here. Need to go find them." And of course, the Earth Queen's like, airbenders. Okay, you can go find them, but first you got to do a favor for me. And she has to go collect taxes from these barbarians that have been ravaging their quote-unquote barbarians, mind you, who are trying to steal her taxpayer money. So Korra and Asami head out to do that. Again, the Korra-Asami ship is, man, they got some new sails, and it's a helicarrier now, like I said. So I'll get back to that in a bit. But backtracking, we follow Kai, who Mako and Bolin are looking for after he escapes, and he's off stealing, using his new airbending abilities to steal, and he pretty much ditches them and manages to slip off to the upper districts, leaving Mako and Bolin behind, to discover that they have a family in the lower districts. They actually have a cousin and an uncle, and a huge family. And that moment, I know I've said some bad things about Mako and Bolin, a lot of them justified, but I couldn't help but feel happy for them when they found their whole family, this huge number of family. These two guys who were pretty much thought they were orphans, surrounded by this huge family. I couldn't help but be happy for them. So good on you, writers, for doing that. And I was really touched when that moment where they actually, encounter their grandmother, who is apparently the girl Zuko went on that date with in Tales of Ba Sing Se. That's what I keep hearing. All right. So that was really cool. That was a moment for me. And we also have Greg Sipes as Mako and Bolin's cousin. I was like, I listened to that voice when he's playing this fruit vendor, and I'm watching it, and I'm listening to him like, wait a minute. Mikey! Yeah, so, Greg Sipes, Nick has got you doing voices left and right. So, that was really cool. Then we get back to Korra and Asami, who are who are pretty much, having girl power against these guys who look like they crawled out of the Mad Max movies. There was a part of me that was like, is one of them going to say Lord Humongous? I really want one to go like, Lord Humongous! And there was one guy with skull painting on, and I was like, please say the line, please. Damn it! Oh boy. But no, the action in here, I failed to mention the action in this show. It is so kick-ass. It really is. There are some really top-notch action sequences in Korra. I can't deny the show for that. Korra in here is back to being level-headed in here and clearly knowing, hey, this is wrong, rather than be like when she was hanging out with Unalaq, where it's like, oh, Unalaq's right, because he's in power and shit like that. In here, she's like, no, the Earth Queen is clearly corrupt, but she's got my hands tied because I need to find these airbenders. So, I'll give Korra credit for being a little bullheaded in here, but at least she's aiming it at somebody that's justified for it. Instead of, snapping at her father and be like, oh, I hate you and this and that and this and that. So, getting back to Zuko, who has teamed up with Tonraq, I don't know, that scene came out of nowhere, and clearly he is telling Eska and Desna, hey, look, these three are out, and they're coming for the final member of their gang, and when they find her, they're going to kill everybody, so we need to go to this secret bunker that, only your father and I knew about to keep them from breaking out this final member who can blow shit up with her mind. Which also leads to this very awkward scene, I'm guessing it was meant to be awkward, where Zuko is talking to Eska and Desna, where he's like, strange, I once hired a guy to kill the Avatar. Didn't work, though. And Eska's like, don't worry, I tried to kill the Avatar when she ruined my wedding. And Tonraq's like, yeah, okay. So, that was a little awkward. I didn't chuckle, I just felt kind of awkward, really. But I'm glad they kind of brought that up. So, yeah, that's pretty much the show on those episodes on a whole. I guess episode 4 will be the big four-way fight between, Zahir and his group, and Zuko, Eska, Desna, and Tonraq. I'm guessing that's where episode 4 will be, so I'm really excited for that. And, yeah, I am really pumped for this show. Like, even though this episode kind of made me go, oh, damn it, Korra, in some cases, I will give credit that, they actually made it a little bit better. They made it, the writing feels a lot more fluid in here, but still, it should not take a show 3 seasons to get good. I shouldn't have to wade through 2 seasons of crap for the writers to suddenly realize, oh wait, we're doing everything wrong. We need to make this better. So yeah, so Book 3 change so far feels good. I mean, Episode 2 Rebirth just made me cringe a lot, but still, Episodes 1 and 3 kind of made up for it. So hopefully Korra won't be back to yelling at everybody and being a bitch, and everyone being a one-dimensional character. Even Milo and Ikki are going to be able to do stuff, so I'm really glad. That sounds really cool. And Jinora is always awesome, and yeah, I'm really interested to see where this whole airbender thing comes from, because obviously they kind of mention that it may be from harmonic convergence, but they're still unsure about it. What I'm really interested, though, is Zahir. I really want to know what Zahir's whole story is. Again, don't spoil in the comments below. So, with Zahir and his group, I want to know how he found them, what's their connection to the White Lotus, and obviously, apparently they were a part of the Avatar's past, so I'm really curious to see where that goes in the future. So all in all, I'm again really excited for this. Episode 2, episodes 1 and 3 made up for it though. Really excited and really just happy to see where this goes. So change, do not screw this up. Anyway, once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this review, and I will be doing, hopefully, episode reviews, because again, I can't predict the future, so for all I know, shit might happen. So I will apologize in advance if I'm not able to get an episode review, every single week. I will do episode reviews of Legend of Korra, but what I'm saying is they may not be on time all of the time, because, shit happens. So I will apologize in advance for that. And yeah, but once again, if you guys watched the first 3 episodes of Korra, let me know what you guys thought of it, and I will see you guys and once again, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.